Here's something that's long overdue, a breakdown of one of my favourite bass lines of all time, Let's Get Serious by Jermaine Jackson. It's from Jermaine's 1980 album of the same name, and it features Nate Watts on bass. Take it away. So, first of all, a few facts about this song. It was co-written by Stevie Wonder and Lee Garrett, who also worked together on Signed, Sealed, Delivered. Stevie Wonder sings background vocals on the bridge, and yeah, it's clearly just a Stevie Wonder song with Jermaine singing it. And Nate Watts is his longtime bass player since Songs in the Key of Life, I think, and is famed for playing his bass tuned down half a step. When I met him a few years ago, he said he was influenced by Hendrix. So yeah, what you're going to want to do if you're playing along with this song is tune down your bass a semitone on each string. So G flat, D flat, A flat, E flat. If you want to get the tone right, he would have played a Fender P bass. I do have a Fender P bass, but it's currently strung with flat wounds, and you're going to want round wounds. So that's why I've opted for my Heyman 4040, which, like a P bass, has got, well, it's got two split coils, so it's not like a P bass, but that pickup soloed is going to sound close enough to a P bass. Alternatively, if you don't have one, but you've got, say, a jazz bass, you want to go onto your neck pickup. But yeah, and you're going to play with your thumb, right? But also you're going to use your fingers. So tone-wise and sort of like processing-wise, what you're going to want to do there is maybe try having a bit of compression to balance out those two techniques, because invariably fingers are going to sound quieter than your thumb. However, that said, it is worth trying to see how well you can balance with just the techniques themselves. For example, play with the thumb, but not quite as loud as you maybe would normally. Let's just get into the song. Any more details I'll cut in with every now and then. Here's the verse. So, main thing to look out for there, obviously it's all played with the thumb and occasionally popping, lots of ghost notes, but just basically filling up the space between the actually articulated notes. I think the main thing you need to focus on if you want to nail this is those 16th note pushes that come at the end of every bar. So like this, 3 and a 40 and a. Now that I've got to this part where it leads back up, right? The first time you play it, pretty simple, just one of each. As the song progresses, you might want to make that a little more complex. Maybe like that. All right, moving on to the pre-chorus now. This combines two techniques. You're going to use your thumb for most of it, but for the occasional fast unison fills, you're going to want to use your fingers. So that's one thing you're going to want to work on, moving between thumb and fingers. It takes practice, but just give it time and you will get it, if it's something new to you anyway. Let's hear that section. What I did there was fairly simple, but you might want to make it a little more complex. Let's give that a go. Let's slow that down a little bit. 3, 4. One thing to look out for in this section, by the way, is that little bar of 2 beats, a 2/4 bar, before going back to 4/4. It makes sense when you play it because you land that, and then there's 4 more beats, either going back to the verse or into the chorus. But yeah, it can catch you up if you're not used to it. It's kind of one of those more natural sounding compound bars. But yeah, watch out for it. Let's do that again, but with the more complex additions, like we are doing in everything else. Kind of like thumb, pop, and then ghost note. And that's kind of the pattern all the way through. Anyway, here we go. Yeah, okay, yeah. So I think not too much to say there. Obviously, you've got to do that unison fill, but as with so many Stevie Wonder tracks, any sort of like lines that the band play generally use the pentatonic scale, maybe the blues scale, but generally speaking, those 5 notes. So if you're comfortable with that, so we're thinking in the key of B minor, but we're actually in the key of B flat minor because of the flat tuning, don't forget. We're going 7th, root, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 7th, root. Okay? And it's just moving from the thumb to the fingers. Here. That can catch you out. So just be ready to make that switch and you should get used to it. So that's the first 2 sections. Let's have a look at the chorus. I think this is my favorite part of the song. Obviously, it involves the hook as well, and the everyone accents that "let's get serious," that part of it. Yeah, and it's really cool. Again, 16th note syncopation is really important here. What you're doing is hitting every single 16th note, offbeat 16th note, leading into the into beat 1. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and right? So they're all offbeat. But yeah, it's all pretty telegraphed. So as long as you lock in with the drums and everything else going on there, you shouldn't have a problem with that. And that just keeps looping. Add in a few ghost notes. And then this bit, that push there is weird. You're doing the 16th note syncopation, but as a slide. Right? And those are all, again, the same articulation we've been doing. Thumb, pop, ghost note, and then move. Right? And then this bit, got to change onto your fingers again. And that's all 16th notes, so at this tempo, fairly fast. And again, yeah, takes some getting used to. But once again, if you anticipate it, it's going to be all right, and just keep working on that. Also as well, going from down here on the 7th fret, you could play the B flat on the 2nd fret, because, all you need to do is change strings, but it does hinder you in terms of getting to here. So that's why I think Nate Watts tends to favour moving up to the 7th fret there. But yeah, again, another unison fill, but again, using the pentatonic scale. So we're going 7, root, 4, 5, 7, 3, or 10, in terms of the degrees of the scale. Okay, but that's all nice and positional. Shouldn't have a problem once you know that's what you need to be. That kind of covers most of what's going on in the chorus. Let's have a look at a section that kind of breaks away from the thumb and is more fingers based. Here's that bridge. All right, so what I did there is kind of what Nate Watts does in the first bridge. It's the section that's the least prescribed, so it's kind of improvised, but based around a few key concepts. So let's do that exact thing again. Slow down. 1, 2. Yeah, all play with the fingers. It starts to introduce a chord that's not in the key of B flat, B major 7. So, but obviously you're playing it as if it's a C because you're in flat tuning. Really fun section harmonically, but let's not go too much into that detail. Let's look at, some of the kind of things that he's using those elements to play around with. So you can kind of think of the first chord as using those key elements. So root, major 3rd, 5th, 6th, and major 7th. And then minor stuff for the chord below it. And kind of chromatic movement between the 7th up to the root and the 4th up to the 5th. It's something like that. It's quite buried, right? And that's up to the 9, chromatic up to the 10. And then using the first finger is quite important with the right hand there, because you need to rake down all of the strings. And then we go down the chords, just doing octaves, but using triplets. So quite a weird rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. And yeah, another lopsided rhythm using dotted 8th notes followed by 16ths. And just, messing around with that note, but using the full natural minor scale there. All right, here are all the sections together. What a workout, especially if you condense all the sections together like that. That just about covers it for me today. Thank you for watching this tutorial video. If you think I've missed anything, do let me know in the comments. I want to thank a couple of people personally. Firstly, Etche, who's a bass player from Turkey, over on Instagram. We started following each other a couple of years ago. She's a phenomenal young bass player who did a cover of my cover of Human Nature by Michael Jackson. She did a great job of it. She tagged me on Instagram in a story a couple of weeks ago saying that my play along of Let's Get Serious really helped her when she was starting out on bass. So yeah, and she's phenomenal. I can't really take too much credit for that, but it was a really, really nice compliment. And as you do on Instagram, you post these things when they come up. And then Cesar, who's one of my Patreon supporters, said, well, how about you do a breakdown of that song? And so here we are. So thanks Cesar, thanks Eche. Eche, by the way, sorry if I mispronounced your name. I did Google it, so hopefully I got it right. Also, that play-along video I was talking about, it's from 2010. That made me feel really old when I looked that up. I wonder if there's anyone who's watched that video and then sees me now and doesn't realise that they're the same person. But yes, they are the same person. Hello. But yeah, that's about it from me today. By the way, if you'd like to support me, do consider heading over to my Patreon. You can get all kinds of fun stuff like downloadable stuff to do with my tutorial videos. Oh, that wind's picking up a bit, isn't it? And yeah, you can just help me create more of these kinds of videos, because I do like doing them. It's just having the time to do it is a struggle. And yeah, I've been Hugh Foster on the bass. I'm currently not on the bass, I'm taking a walk, but you know, it's always worth trying something different, isn't it? And take care. I'll see you guys next time.